Sydney has better bakeries than Melbourne. Yeah, I said what I said. Hey guys, it's Steve from the Fat Life Project. If you're new to my channel, which I know most of you are, I upload fat, food and travel content on a weekly basis. And so if that sounds like your kind of jam, I highly recommend you click on that subscribe button so that we can go on more weekly adventures together. I am currently back in my home base in Sydney, and over the next couple of weeks, I want to take you around to some of the best bakeries in Sydney. But please, allow me to explain how the inspiration for this little series came about. You see, I was in Melbourne recently, and so of course I had to go check out Lune Croissants. After I went and tried out their croissants as well as their other baked goods, I decided that I was on a mission to find an equivalent or better bakery in Sydney. Let me explain to you my investigative process. I turned to Google and searched for terms like best bakeries in Sydney and best croissants in Sydney to get a list of bakeries with high Google ratings. I then further narrowed down my selection to the few with lots of positive reviews on Instagram and TikTok, and also cross-checked with every other foodie friend I knew for confirmation. In today's episode, we are checking out A.P Bakery. Morning guys, today we're headed to A.P Bakery in Surry Hills. So come, let's go on a little food adventure. A.P Bakery is located at the rooftop of Paramount House, a boutique hotel located at the former Paramount Picture Studios at 80 Commonwealth Street in Surry Hills. There is also a very hip cafe at the entrance to Paramount House. I really like the vibes at Paramount Coffee Project. Anyway, walk straight through to the elevators at the far end of the cafe. Press 2 and the lift will take you right up to the rooftop. You will be greeted by a queue to the counter depending on what time you get there. They are open from 7:30 a.m. on all days apart from Tuesdays. Best time to get there depends on the day, of course, but if you're headed there on the weekend, basically the earlier the better. I mean, the baked goods display looked like this at around 11:30 a.m. My friend and I got there around 9:30 a.m. and there was already a queue, but fortunately the queue does move quite fast. Be prepared to be stunned by panoramic views of the city. I highly recommend you sit outside in the rooftop area. It is part of the experience. As the queue inches closer to the counter, you will get to see a preview of everything they have on the menu, and if you're anything like me, you are totally gonna be spoiled for choice. I mean, just look at this. And that's where I come in. I've been to A.P Bakery twice to try out enough food items so that I can give you recommendations. I also tried a bit of everything so that you have a variety of recommendations depending on what you're craving on the day. But let's start with this. I don't know about you guys, but a croissant, specifically a plain croissant, for me is the must-try big item when I visit any bakery for the first time. A plain croissant is, in my humble opinion, the ultimate test item because the pastry has no additional flavors or toppings to hide behind. And so, if it's good, then the rest of their items are definitely worth trying. This here is the A.P Bakery Buttermilk Croissant, which I have had twice, just to be sure. A good croissant is a thing of beauty. Its golden, flaky layers are formed by folding and rolling the butter into a dough to create an airy pastry that melts in your mouth with each bite. The perfect croissant should be light and fluffy on the inside, but crunchy and buttery on the outside, like so. You know it's good when you can see the bubbly layers inside. I definitely think that the croissant at A.P Bakery has passed the taste test. So now that the plain croissant has passed the taste test, we simply have to try out the rest of their croissants, and boy do they have a selection. Thankfully, I've narrowed it down to the following 4. I can never say no to anything with chocolate in it, and this chocolate croissant is no exception. If you like rhubarb, allow me to introduce you to this thing of beauty. Their fig leaf cream rhubarb croissant definitely does not skimp on the cream and rhubarb filling. I mean, just look at that cross section. But if you're after something savory instead, this ham and Gyuyere croissant is a leveled up ham and cheese croissant. I love it so much. There was this umami flavor to it that just made it so darn addictive. Highly recommend. But if you're looking for an alternative that's cheese free, I also really enjoyed this macadamia, honey and thyme croissant. Look, I know that the view looks absolutely amazing from this rooftop cafe, but it was absolutely freezing as we are here in winter, which is why I felt it was necessary to order a warm pie to help us ward off the cold. This here is their black chicken pie and it is absolutely unreal. I don't know, maybe it's my personal preference for more savory items, but this black chicken pie is definitely on my repeat order list when I revisit again. I mean, I've already had it twice. But I hear ya. Where is the cake, Steve? Well, if you're craving some cake, I definitely recommend this almond and pear upside down cake. It is another winner. The cake itself is pretty dense, but it wasn't too sweet and you definitely get a strong almond aroma with each bite. So good. Honestly, everything I had here has been amazing, but I want to hear from you. Have you been to A.P Bakery, and if so, what are your favorites? I've already sussed out a few other bakeries around Sydney and will be uploading those in the coming weeks, so be sure to hit that subscribe button so that you can find out where I go next. I usually upload on Saturdays, so be sure to also turn on that bell notification so that you can start your weekend with me. But also, if you've enjoyed this little food tour, I would really appreciate a like. It is absolutely free to do, but it would help my tiny little channel out so much. If you want to check out more of my Sydney-based content, do feel free to check out my Sydney playlist, which I've included in the description box. And if you got to this point of the video, I want to thank you so much for your support. I do hope that you have a fantastic day ahead or that you've already had a good day. As always, I will see you soon in the next video.